How you doing, everyone? And happy Friday to everybody out there. This is the Isaac Hayes Show. Thank you for joining me here today as we could talk about life, we talk about liberty, and we talk about the pursuit of happiness. And we show the audience in the world that Cajuns do have intelligence. It is cold here in the state of Louisiana. Probably not as cold as Cleveland, Ohio, as they had snow on the ground for the Cleveland-Pittsburgh game. I did not realize that until after the game. And I didn't watch the whole game. So what happened was we are scheduled to go watch the new Gladiator movie tonight. Gladiator 2 has come out. I've heard about it. And my friend texted me, friends to the show, LB, he producer for Brothers Just Searching, said, hey, what you doing tomorrow night? I said, nothing that I'm aware of. He said, well, let's go watch the new Gladiator 2 movie. And I'm like, I never watched Gladiator 1. And he said, really? Like, he was surprised. And I'm probably going to make a few people say, wait, you never saw Gladiator until last night? I was like, yeah. I remember when I said that about Star Wars, Scott Ford nearly fell out of his chair listening to the podcast. But anyway, I watched Gladiator 2 last night, and I was watching it, and I was on Amazon anyway, so I said, let me check out the score of the game. It's still live, and it was a post-game show, and it was white all over the place. I'm like, go. And then come to realize it didn't snow until later on in the game. And could you imagine that scenario? Just, I know we talk about politics, but just I never played football as for, a team sport like that, organized sport. But could you imagine just playing on a field and you see green grass? Yeah, it's cold. And then all of a sudden you see it starts snowing, and it snows so hard that it covers the field. First half and second half were totally different. So, I'm just saying, but, congratulations to the Browns. Former Saints quarterback Jameis Winston won his first game in the snow, and he enjoyed it. I like how he gave tribute to the good Lord Almighty. A lot of people ain't doing that no more. They're afraid to say, hey, we want to give thanks to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Since Tim Tebow did it, now more players have been open about it, and I encourage professional athletes to do it. But yeah, you got to give thanks to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and we're just so happy, that I'm happy that Christian athletes are coming out and doing this. All right, we got a lot to cover today. For the past 2 days, we've had tons of news. I'm hoping I can cover all of it. If I can't, well, we'll try to knock it out on the next episode if nothing major happens. The news cycle is always changing. Okay. Especially me, I do 3 episodes a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And you would think, man, 3 days, Isaac can cover majority of the major topics that happen. But the past 2 days with the news cycle, it's been crazy. And there's a lot going on. But I want to talk to you about something before I even get into it's going to contain news. But I thought about something this week, and if you look at the title of the episode, it happened before and it's happening again. What am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about the Trump picks being shamed out of their jobs. It's kind of funny that some of the Trump picks that he has made all of a sudden has scandal. All of a sudden they have something going on. But this is not the first time this has happened. I want to bring you back to 2016. Remember Donald Trump won a amazing election. Everybody thought he would lose that election in 2016. The pundits had him down in the polls. The pundits were like, man, he has no shot of winning. He should not even be in this race. But Donald Trump won in 2016 in an amazing fashion. And Donald Trump did not know what he was doing then like he does now. If you notice, the campaign of 2024 was flawless. I don't think any other politician could have pulled off him going to McDonald's and working for McDonald's. None whatsoever. I don't think there was no political figure that could probably even pull that off. A political figure going in a garbage truck and wearing a work vest at a rally. No other political figure could pull that off. Now, we know why Donald Trump could do certain things like that, because he has been part of the private citizen club. When he ran for public office the first time in 2016, he was a regular citizen. Now he is considered a politician. I have to give him that. But No other person could pull that off. 2024, well, his campaign was flawless, and his picks are, in my opinion, somewhat great. Okay, I don't agree with all the picks, but at the same time, I'm gonna quote Dr. Mike on this one. Dr. Mike said, "We elected this man. Let's trust him." Now, if the pick is wrong, or if something happens with the pick, guess what? We can go ahead and get behind our microphones and say, "Hey, President Trump, this didn't work." Okay. But going back to my point, in 2016, Trump did not know a lot about picking cabinet picks, and he picked some picks that were sketchy. But there was one pick that he did, and I think it was one of the most awesome picks out there, was the appointment of Michael Flynn for National Security Advisor. Michael Flynn was a general in our United States Army. He was well known in the community, and before that point, if I'm not mistaken, he was respected. But Donald Trump picked him, and guess what? It caused a firestorm in the political world. And Michael Flynn was a qualified pick for Donald Trump for National Security Advisor. And guess what happened? Oh, well, he colluded with Russia. He talked to Russia and did not let the vice president and the president know. And of course, it was Obama's staff that raised concerns about Michael Flynn. And the media trashed Michael Flynn. I remember the news coverage. It was, Michael Flynn is bad. He's evil. Now, not to mention that almost every national security advisor did what Michael Flynn did. Call their counterpart and discuss. He didn't talk about sanctions, and he didn't talk about this, and he didn't talk about that. And they trash Michael Flynn till this day. If you mention Michael Flynn, you're blackballed. I'm not on Rumble. I know Rumble, I'm going to be good, but maybe other social media apps, I don't know, because I mentioned Michael Flynn. But Michael Flynn, by the media and the left, was shamed out of his position. And Donald Trump, not knowing what he was doing at the time, yielded to the media and to the left. Michael Flynn should have been National Security Advisor. He should have never quit. Donald Trump should have never bent the knee to these radical left-leaning people, but he did, unfortunately. Now Michael Flynn, tons of court battles. He had to plead guilty because he was going broke. And till this day, Michael Flynn says, "Look, I don't believe I did anything wrong." And my opinion is that he didn't. So that happened before. Picking on the Trump picks. And you say, Isaac, what do you mean that? Well, he appointed Matt Gaetz to be the Attorney General. Now, we know Matt Gaetz stepped down, and we will talk about this later on. But he appointed Matt Gaetz to to be the AG, and all of a sudden, all these allegations are coming out. To where even when The View mentioned these allegations and they went to the extreme, had to talk about a legal note. The View said they're thinking about changing the name to Legal Note because every time they say something, ABC's like, read this because we don't want to get sued. But Matt Gaetz has been, the swirl of allegations have been that he paid underage women for intercourse. I'm trying to be proper here this morning. I'm trying to, when I start getting riled up, maybe I don't know, but anyway, but underage, he paid underage women for intercourse. And this is a scandal, and this is gonna make Trump look bad. And look, I had my issues with Gaetz. I'm not gonna lie with you. I stood behind this microphone, or sat behind this microphone, whatever way you want to put it. I had issues with Gaetz. But I'm like, hey, Trump knows what he's doing. Let's see what he does. Now, all of a sudden, the scandal's coming out. Now, Gaetz had his legal issues. He's with the ethics boards and everything like that. But the media is playing this up. Trump picked this guy, and he's a pedophile. He's this and this, he's this and that. To the point now that Gaetz has stepped down. Gates has said that it's a distraction, and he don't want to distract anything from the Trump-Vance administration. So they already put him up, but hold on, that's not it. See, they did it with Michael Flynn, and it was one and done that we know of. But another Trump pick all of a sudden got sex scandals. I'm talking about Pete Hogsett. Pete Hogsett is a journalist. He used to work for Fox News until he got tapped to be the National Defense Secretary. He wants to work for Trump. Now, look, to my knowledge, we didn't hear nothing about this. All of a sudden, think about this. All of a sudden, a woman from 2017 comes out and says, "Oh, I was SA'd by him, and he forced himself upon me." And you have CNN. I looked at it last night. You had CNN, you had CBS, you had the Associated Press, you had all these news articles come out about Pete Hogsett. Oh, Hegseth is bad. He's evil. And Trump picked him to be the defense secretary. All of a sudden, scandals are coming up. Women are coming out of the... Women, all of a sudden, all these people. Okay, look, okay. This is what I'm going to say about Gates, and I'm going to say about Pete Hegseth. They've been in the public eye for years. They've been in the public eye for years, and all of a sudden, these women are now going to come out and say, he did something to me. Hold on, I got one more. Trump's incoming White House chief of staff lobbying comes under scrutiny. That's right, his chief of staff, a woman. Now look, I thought on the left, we don't criticize women. We don't criticize women by what they've done. We lift them up, and we make sure that they're in place. The left, you remember this is left, but all of a sudden now, a Trump woman, she's under scrutiny. She's under scrutiny because she has been lobbying for special interest groups. Oh, all of a sudden. The left, all of a sudden, is moral and right to these Trump picks. And like I said, I started seeing this. I'm thinking, I'm just, man, why all of a sudden, why are they doing this? Well, one, I think they're scared because these three individuals are going to shake up Washington, and especially Gays. You know, they had to get Gays out of there because the same way as Michael Flynn, because I think there was some shady stuff that Michael Flynn was going to find out, and they didn't want him in that position. Now Trump is putting strong people in these, as for defense secretary, as for the AG, for his chief of staff, and all of a sudden there's these scandals out there because they're scared that they're going to shake up the system. And instead of telling people, hey, they're not qualified when they are qualified, let's turn the tides and let's make America think that these people are immoral and unjust. Now, Matt Gaetz is still under investigation for these underage individuals, okay? I'm going to leave that alone. And look, there's even questions now if he can return to Congress, which I said that before. I don't know why, okay, I was always taught you don't leave a job until you know you have another job lined up. That's how my parents taught me. And I've been in those situations where I don't, I didn't have a job and I didn't know where my paycheck was coming in, so I had to go find a job right away. But every time I left the job, I always made sure I had another job lined up. Why did Matt Gaetz say, I'm going to step aside from Congress? He didn't know he was going to get nominated. He didn't know what was going on. Look, I understand. They were maybe trying to fill that seat before January when they all get sworn in and they certify the election. I understand all that point, but what I read, Ron DeSantis didn't even call for a special election. Did Ron DeSantis know something that we didn't know yet? Or he told the Secretary of State and the Secretary of State didn't do? I just don't understand why Gaetz did that. Now, look, like I said, what if he don't get nominated? Or what if he don't get the job? Well, guess what? He didn't get the job. Now we lose a strong voice in Washington, D.C. as a congressman. I'm just saying, now look, I know this is the Florida District 1 is a strong Republican district. Gays won this district in this year by 32 points. So I know it's a strong margin. It's a good district for us. But still, you know, hey, do we get a congressman in place before Congress takes over? We only, according to Fox News, we only have 218 seats. Now, Decision Desk and others have us about 220, 221. So I know we can spare one or two, but I'm just saying. But he's still on the investigation from the ethics board. We can get the media somewhat of credit on that one. But I'm really want to focus on Pete Hegseth. Because Pete Hegseth, like I said, he's been in the public eye for I don't know how many years. When this allegation came out that he did this in 2017, he was already working for Fox News. Now, Megyn Kelly suggests that it don't pass the smell test because there's video evidence that they walked away together, hand in hand and locked. She says she don't remember. She thinks something was in her drink, but when they ran the test, she didn't have nothing in her drink. She also said that he locked the door and he was forceful on her. Well, when he took a test, apparently they didn't see nothing because the police department didn't charge him with anything. Now, according to CBS, they said that they sent it to the district attorney's office and wanted them to make the decision. Well, that's even, hold on, stop. If you send it to the district attorney's office and the district attorney said we're not going to push this issue, there's nothing there. Now, look, I'm a man of faith. I believe you should wait until you're married to have intercourse. That's how I believe. But, you know, and look, I don't know what's Pete's faith. I really don't know. I never met this man. But I will say this, though. If two adults consent to be with one another, guess what? There's nothing wrong there. Oh, but he did this, he did that. But it's not flying. Like I said, why wasn't there charges brought up? Look, I can understand even that. I would have questioned it out of the blue. Oh, he did this to me, and there was no police report, no record of it. There's record of it, and that the police said no, we're not going to pursue this. Now, CBS and the Associated Press and others will not tell you that, but there's nothing there. There's nothing there. And it goes to the same point with the chief of staff, lobbying for special interest groups. Don't you tell me, you can't tell me that there isn't a Democrat staffer that hasn't ever done that? Again, they're scared. They're scared of these people. They're scared of these people because they're going up there and they're cleaning house. And they don't want Trump to clean up house. Because Trump might reveal a lot of things that were in the closet. I hope he does. Look, Pete has said when he becomes the defense secretary, guess what? He's going to clean up the military. You have this military that has been that's been DEI, and guess what? We are more of a threat. We are more a threat now than ever before. This is one reason why they don't like RFK going in as the health and human secretary. Because he already said, look, there's things that the FDA and other organizations are doing that should not be done, and they're scared because they're going to lose their profits. They're going up there and they're cleaning up the house. And the Democrats don't like that. The left don't like that. The establishment does not like that because that's their income. They don't care about us, the American people. Look, I even question some Republicans when they say, we're for the people. Really? You've been in that, Dr. Mike brings that up all the time. You've been in there for 47 years and a day. A congresswoman just won her 22nd term. Look, I like my congressman, Clay Higgins. I like him. But when he first ran, I asked him how many. I remember I was in that town hall meeting. I said, how many terms do you believe in term limits, and will you vote for him? And he said, if it comes up, I will, but I'm not planning on running more than a certain amount of terms. And he has exceeded that already. Now, look, nothing against Clay. I like Clay's policies. He's doing a good job. But you don't tell a citizen, hey, I'm going to stay here for a certain amount of time, and then you exceed it. Now, he might not remember I asked that question. That might have been the only time somebody asked him that question. We need term limits. That's one thing. But people are going up there making careers, and there's a lot of shady stuff going on in Washington. And this is why they're scared of Hexet. This is why they're scared of Matt Gaetz. This is why they're scared of certain people that are coming up into power. Because they won't get away with it. They won't get away with it no more. And instead of trying to prove to people, or at least the Democrats, when it comes up to confirmation, to say these people ain't qualified, they can't do that. So before their confirmation, they're going to shame them. They're going to try to do the same thing they did with Brett Kavanaugh. Now, it didn't work in Brett Kavanaugh's case. Thank goodness. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of Brett Kavanaugh, but he's more conservative than a lot of judges that could have taken up that seat. But remember, Brett Kavanaugh was drugged through the mud on a baseless claim. He forced himself on me. Where at? I don't know. What time? I don't know. I don't remember. Do you remember who the host of the party was? It was a friend. I don't know. It was all these baseless claims. But we were told, believe the woman no matter what. Now they're trying to drag this man into... Look, he even had her sign a non-disclosure agreement, I think it is, or something like... And she... Look, that broke the agreement. Why isn't she paying? Ladies and gentlemen, like I said, look, I didn't hear Megyn Kelly's. I read it. I read what she said. It don't fly. Look, her husband was down the hall. Her kids were down the hall. And look, I'm not trying to smear the woman, but, and look, that's another thing too. Oh, he went ahead and forced himself on me. If she was drunk, well, see how that makes it worse. Well, no, they both were drinking. And look, I read other articles besides the one I pulled. I pulled up Daily Wire, but I read CBS's news article. I just think it's funny. Okay, I'm just saying. All of a sudden, all these allegations are coming up, and they're trying to shame Trump's picks out. Like I said, they already were successful with Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz withdrew his name Thursday afternoon, which was a shocker. I'm not gonna lie to you. That sent shockwaves to the media. Now, look, thank goodness that Trump picked another individual that is qualified, a former AG, Attorney General of Florida, and worked with the Trump administration the first time. Trump announced Thursday evening that his nominee. He's nominating former Attorney General of Florida, Pam Boudin, as the next Attorney General of the United States. Boudin, I don't know, Boudin. I hope I'm saying it right now. I'm not trying to insult the woman. But Bondi, Boudin, whatever. But yeah, according to, she's qualified to do it. So I want to see what the media tries to throw at her. I wonder, maybe she worked at an adult club. I don't know. They're gonna throw something out there. Trump picks are in the sights of these left-leaning people because they want to discredit them. They want to hurt them. They want to hurt them politically. And it's happening again. This is the issue. Okay? It's happening again, and I hope Trump don't yield to this. And it looks like he's not yielding to it. Thank goodness. Now, Matt Gaetz stepped down. Look, like I said, his futures, we don't know yet. But Trump didn't ask him to leave. And if he did, it didn't look like he asked him to leave. He resigned. Or he stepped aside. But the left's doing it again. And we need to stop them. I just don't want what happened to Michael Flynn happen again. Michael Flynn was a good pick, and they shamed him out of that position. They forced him out of that position. But now, let's just hope. Look, we got 2 months left. We don't know what's going to come. The new appointee now, Pam. What they're going to pull out? What they're going to say about her? And look, don't get me wrong. Okay, I understand Gaze was shaky. I don't think Gaze would have got it. Honestly, now look, some on the radio, I can't Van Camp and them. They were like, well, every day is looking better. He's talking to senators, but I don't know. A crime that was not with Pete, a crime that was not report what was reported, but it just don't make sense to me. All right. Everybody in the chat, by the way, thank you for being part of the show today. I appreciate you guys. I wish I was live so I can go ahead and comment and read your posts, read your comments. I know I'm probably reading them or glancing at them every so often when I get a chance. But thank you guys for being part of the show. I appreciate you guys. Want to acknowledge the chat a little bit. Also want to thank Dr. Mike Alderese, and Kelly for shooting. Try to say it the right way, giving me props, I guess you could say, or telling people to check out my show. I appreciate you guys. And go check out the Two Mics Live show tonight at 6 o'clock Central Standard Time. And go check out the Doc Mike Swartz show, or Mike Swartz show on Rumble. Go ahead. We're trying to build a community here. Amber May as well. Go ahead and check out Amber May. She does some great interviews, guys. All right, let's continue. The Baltic Celtics made it to the White House. That's right. Baltimore Celtics decided to go visit President Joe Biden, as most national championship teams do. They go ahead to go to the White House, and the president gives them tells them how good their team is and a little bit of history. But apparently Joe Biden couldn't remember the Baltic Celtics name. He got up there and he's like, "We want to honor the Baltics, the Boston. Who is it? The Celtics? Oh, the Celtics. Yes." And then he said, "My Secret Service name is Celtics. They call me Celtic because I'm Italian." Now, on this point, for the last 4 years, we don't know what Biden is. Biden has been, he's been, Irish. He's been Italian. He's been what else? He lived in Portuguese, I guess. I don't know. He lived all over the place. He's one of them rare people to have multiple backgrounds, apparently. Now, this could be because he's lying or he's confused or a little bit of both. Who knows? But this display yesterday reminded me of Nate Silva's article the other day, where Nate Silver, the pollster who's been made, calls on Biden to resign after claiming he isn't capable to be president right now. Nate Silver, you're late. Go back and listen to the Cajun Conservative show. Go back and listen to my recent shows of the Isaac Hayes show. Go listen to Two Mics Live. Go listen to Amber May. Go listen to Jeff Ahern. Go listen to Dan Bongino. Go listen to Sean Hannity. Go listen to almost every person on Fox News. And we could have told you he was not capable of being the president of the United States. Now, he also just came back from the rainforest where he thought, no, I'm not going to say that. He almost walked into the woods and thought he saw Kamala Harris in the forest. He was walking aimlessly, like he was about to lose it. I don't know, but he did not look great in the rainforest at the G20 summit in Brazil. I said the Amazon rainforest. And Nate Silver just starts saying how he needs to just step aside because he's not capable. Well, he just forgot the Baltic Celtics name. Say he didn't know none of the guys behind him either. Okay. How would you feel if you're a championship team and the president of the United States don't know who you are? I'm just saying, it don't look right. It don't look right. But him being confused and him giving out his Secret Service name. Now, look, I don't know if that's top secret information. Maybe somebody in the chat that would be better, have more knowledge of that than I do. But really, you're supposed to give that out? Hey, Celtics is lying. Oh, the president's going somewhere. Yay! He gave out his Secret Service name, and he forgot the. And people are saying, "Well, he ain't capable." Well, yeah, it's easy to say that now. He only got 2 months left. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been saying that for the last 3 years, that the president of the United States ain't capable. But see, this is the I don't know Nate Silver. I don't hardly read his stuff. I know he's an election guru and all this stuff. He had some good knowledge, and he was one of them that said, "Look, Trump looks very good. It looks like Trump's going to take this thing home." But ladies and gentlemen, media has been saying, the conservative media has been saying this for 3 years. And you know what we were called? Conspiracy theorists. We would call, we're putting on our tinfoil hat, and we're waiting for something to happen, and if there's nothing there, he's sharp as a tack. Remember Kamala Harris, still to this day, after that botch debate performance, after everything that has happened, Kamala Harris is still going out there saying, "Well, I think he's sharp as a tack." Now, all of a sudden, everybody, 2 months left. Now, look, I think there's a hidden agenda, because this is the second person that has called on Biden to resign. I think they're trying to get Kamala Harris to be named the first woman president. That's all I can see. That they like titles, and they like first times. First time African American this, first Hispanic this, first woman this. They like them titles because it looks good. They think that it makes them, hey. The Democrat Party put the first female president up there. Now, granted, this will be the shortest presidency of any president, 2 months. Now, look, I'm not all against Nate Silver's calls for him to resign. I just think it's too late. I think when that debate performance in June happened, Kamala Harris should have called a meeting of the cabinet and say, "Listen, I've seen it. Everybody else has seen it. This man is not capable of being the president. We need to invoke the 25th Amendment, and for the sake of the country." Look, I didn't like Kamala Harris. I don't think she would have made a good president. But I'd rather put it in her hands than a man that don't remember a basketball team's name. Now, look, don't get me wrong. If he wouldn't have had notes and he ain't a basketball person, he maybe wouldn't have known. But this dude opened up a book with his speech where they had the name Celtics all over the place, and he still couldn't remember. This is the man that sent weapons to Ukraine. And also, he's trying to forgive them of their debt. I have a story right here. Zelensky was on Fox News and says that if Ukraine loses unity and we take away the U.S. funds, that the war will be over, and he's worried about that. But as long as Biden's there, he's fine. Biden administration, this was a couple of days. Well, this was yesterday. Biden administration informed Congress it will forgive $5 billion in economical loans to Ukraine. Again, I don't know. Look, this is the president. Going back to my previous point, don't know what he's doing. It's just $5 billion, American people. It don't matter. I don't know what Ukraine got on this guy, but $5 billion in economical loans forgiven. Now, Congress can go ahead and pass a resolution saying no. Now, I always thought that Congress had the purse, but if Congress passes a rule saying that they're not going to forgive, the Senate's not going to pass that, and Joe Biden will just veto it. That's according to Fox News. But President Joe Biden is trying his darndest to keep funding Ukraine. $5 billion in loans. Now, look, I'm going to ask you a question. And this is all for my people that are business people or have people that have personal loans. Go to the bank and tell them, "Hey guys, I'm going to forgive my loan. I'm just not going to pay y'all guys." Or you get somebody influential. Go to the bank and says, "Hey, I'm going to go ahead and forgive that man's loan." The bank's going to say, "All right, where's the money?" "Oh, no. I'm just going to forgive it. I'm an influencer. I got street cred." It's not going to happen. to forgive a country $5 billion. This is not 500, $5 billion, not 5,000, $5 billion, not 5 million, $5 billion. Now, this was, let me see. What was the original? The original loan was $9 billion. Now, it was a funding package that was earmarked $6 billion worth of aid for Ukraine, including $9 billion structures as loan with provision that allowed the administration to forgive it, according to Miller. Now, it's saying, hey, so they already put it in there that say, hey, they're not going to pay this back. So we just, $5 billion of taxpayer dollars is going to Ukraine, and the rest of it could be forgiven. So potentially $9 billion could be forgiven to Ukraine. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the president for the next 2 months, unfortunately. A senile old man that does not know what he's doing. He's putting us on the verge of World War III. I talked about my concerns on the last episode. Now forgiving Ukraine and forgetting the Boston Celtics name. And now Nate Silva and everybody else wants to say, it's time for him to step aside. It's kind of a couple of months too late. And look, for the nerve of Nate Silva to go ahead and talk about this right now is bizarre to me. But again, he's gone in 2 months. Let's just hope he don't screw something up in the next 2 months. I'm not going to quote the exact words, but hey, Barack Obama warned us about Joe Biden. Huh? How you warned us about Joe Biden? Well, he said, don't underestimate Joe's ability to screw something up. I'm just saying. Barack Obama told us about it, but the American people did not want to listen to Barack Obama. Again, I don't listen to Barack Obama, but it's based on policy. Democrats, your former president told you this, and you're still the man that was his President Joe Biden was President Barack Obama's supposedly right-hand man. And Barack Obama told y'all, hey, don't underestimate the ability of Joe to mess something up. Just saying. All right, let's move on. Justice has finally been served in the Laken Riley case. As you know, a couple of years ago, maybe last year, the year before, I don't know. But Laken Riley was a young woman in Georgia. She went for a run and never came back home. And Laken Riley was unfortunately assaulted and killed. And the trial for Laken Riley took place. Now, the person that did this crime was an illegal alien and I'm going to say it, illegal alien that came from a country that he shouldn't have came here. And he was caught multiple times here in the United States. Had a lot of encounters with the police. But the Biden administration put him on a plane and sent him to Georgia, where he committed this crime. Now, you're innocent until proven guilty, but the thing of it is, this was not a United States citizen. In my opinion, this dude does not have the same rights as us because he's not a United States citizen. Because this is what gets me about, I'm going to make this point. This is what gets me about all these mayors, governors, and state leaders that are opposing the mass deportation of illegal immigrants. We got to protect our people. We got to protect our citizens. We got to protect. Well, okay, you should agree with mass deportation because most of these people that came across these borders are like this individual, a criminal, somebody that wants to hurt other people. See, I don't know if these mayors, these governors, and these other state leaders understand this, but people outside this country don't have the morals like we have. Even left-leaning people. Okay, left-leaning people have more morals than most countries out there. If you compare the left-leaning nut to a radical terrorist, the left-leaning nut is going to be more moral than that. Okay, this country, we have morals. Even if you are a person that has bad ideas, you have morals of life. Now, somebody on the left, with the case with abortion and stuff, yeah. It's not much, but you get what I'm saying. They have more value of life than somebody outside this nation. People that come, look, it's been proven that most of these countries, when they send their individuals here, it's not to better off themselves. They want to get the bad people out of their country and put them into this country. And the state leaders, we want to protect our citizens. Well, look, encourage mass deportations. Well, we want to protect our citizens. These individuals are not citizens of the United States. So you know what you need to do? You need to pack them up and send them back to their country. I'm sorry. Hey, look, I understand. Look, I'm not. I do agree. If somebody's been here and they have not committed a crime, I understand crossing the border is illegal. But you keep the good people here. Okay, get the people that have not committed a crime. But these individuals came here with the intention of doing crimes. They were part of gangs. And the Biden administration set them up in hotels and flew them to Georgia. But again, on going back to Lincoln Riley's trial, her life, and remembering her life, where her dad gave a speech of her, and I heard this on the Mike Swartz show. Her dad wrote a letter, or her journal, where she was talking to her future husband. Now, I don't know what was Miss Riley's faith, but I have to say that she sounded like she was a strong Christian. Because in that letter, or in that journal entry, she wrote how she wanted to be a faithful wife, and she wanted to love God and have her kids raised up in the right way. And she wanted her and her husband to love the Lord and honor him. Now, look, like I said, I never looked that deep into her faith, but reading that letter and assuming that she was a sister in Christ, that even hurts more. Because a life that could have been used for God was taken by the enemy, unfortunately. But on Wednesday, on all counts, this butcher, this no good, evil thug, got life in prison without the chance of parole. You know what the bad thing about this? This was a Soros DA. So they're like, the death penalty. That's not. We're gonna get him in prison where he spends life in prison. He has no. Really, this man's gonna have 3 meals a day, and he's gonna be, and the taxpayer dollars are gonna be paid on him for the rest of his miserable life. Now, look, don't get me wrong. I'm angry about this, and I'm hurt that this happened. This is a soul that the Lord could save. I will bring that out. Now, a lot of people in the chat and a lot of people that are listening to this later on might say, Isaac, why are you saying that? No, because God can reach down to the lowest points and forgive somebody. And if God forgives them, we can forgive them. Okay, I'm going to make that point right there. And look, it's hard, but right now I feel angry. But think about it. Look, unless the Lord touches him, and he's going to stay there in a miserable state. And we're going to have to pay for it. He's going to have 3 meals a day. Yeah, might be in prison, but he's not going back to the prisons where he came from or wherever. Me personally, I think they should have put the death penalty on him. And that's biblical. You know, a lot of people say, well, that's a life, Isaac. The Lord can touch. Yes, the Lord can touch. And I hope he goes to jail and he meets a man, and a man says, look, I know a man that died for you and rose again. I hope so. Because every soul is cherishable. And look, as a minister of the gospel, that's our duty. And look, I am angry. This man took an innocent life. And he's a thug. But I'm just saying, him sitting in prison is going to cost the taxpayers of Georgia possibly millions of dollars. All because they want to go ahead and make sure that we don't ruffle up any feathers. But again, Lincoln Riley justice has been served to somewhat. Now, look, I will say this, and I will go ahead and pray for her family, especially her dad. He made this statement: I will spend the rest of my trying to navigate this grief. I will keep her memory alive and hope justice is served for her, not only because I am her father, but because she deserves it. This man's hurting. And look, I've seen the pictures of the individual. He don't have no remorse. Think about it. Look, this man had so much morals, okay? when they came to try to find him and they found his DNA under her skin. That the DNA was really what sealed this case, by the way. Laken Riley went ahead and scratched this man where his DNA was under her skin. And that put him at the place where it was done. This man went ahead and said, "Oh, it was my brother." Some brother you are. Try to blame it on his brother. And his brother's like, "Nope, him." "Oh, y'all can't tell the difference between me and him." What kind of brother is that? I would have been, hey, if his brother would have said, "No, it was me. Please take me. Don't take him." No, he was like, "Hey, it's my brother." And the other brother's like, "What?" Now, let's get to the root cause of this, though, before I move on to my next story. You know why this happened? Because of Biden and Harris. They allowed that border open. And they encouraged people to jump on planes, and they flew them all across the nation. "Oh, we don't have open borders." Yeah, you do. You stopped all the you stopped all the Trump executive orders, and you stopped all the Trump policies that closed that border. If I'm not mistaken, 2.5 million people crossed that border under Donald Trump. Almost 15 million crossed over with Joe Biden, possibly more. I think it's 12 million that we know of. What about the ones we don't know of? And ladies and gentlemen, that's scary. And look, I'm glad in 2 months they're gone. But again, he's president for 2 months. We don't know what's going to happen. All right, let's move on. I got a few other stories. I usually try to do about 6 stories, and I got 9 today. I'm trying to get all to them within the hour that we have. The House Speaker made some news these past couple of days where he barred biological men from women's bathrooms in the Capitol. Now, first off, I want to ask the question. Look, I never met Mike Johnson, but he is from Louisiana. Why wasn't this done the first day that he did it? Like when the first day he got into office. Why? Okay. Well, Isaac, he didn't want media scrutiny. The election was coming up. Okay. I'm a person that believes you should do right no matter what the timing is. But Isaac, this could have hurt the election. It could have. But you do what's right. You don't wait till the convenient time to do what's right. You don't wait till it's convenient to tell the truth. You're supposed to tell the truth all the time. And ladies and gentlemen, he should have done this from the beginning, but I'm glad he's doing it now. But it did raise some stir. It stirred the pot in Washington, D.C., because apparently there is a congressperson that is a male that supposed to transition to a woman, said that they're going to abide by the female bathroom rules after Johnson brings the hammer down. But like Johnson said, now, this makes a good point too, okay? Well, if you're a trans woman, you should go into the bathroom of your choice, or go, if you feel like you're a woman, you should go into a woman's bathroom. These Congress people, men and women, have their own office with their own restrooms. So they don't have to go into a public restroom. Also, there is unisex bathrooms in these places. See, it goes to the same point, okay? I never got that, all right? Stores like Target and everything. Well, if a man feels like he's a woman, he can go into the woman's bathroom. Why don't just go into the unisex restroom? There is unisex restrooms in Target and Walmart and several other outlets. But you see that goes away. They want to stir up this mess. They want somebody to see a biological man go into a woman's bathroom, and then it makes the story because another man don't want his daughter in there with a biological man, and they beat the snot out of it. They want that because, oh, you're homophobic bigots. That's what they want. They want confusion. They want things like that to happen. Why? Because they failed to push their narrative. And look, it stirred the pot. Now, Mike Johnson was right on this. He should push this issue. If you're a biological man, you should not be going into a woman's bathroom. We are protecting women. And this trans-identifying congressman agreed to it, according to the Daily Wire. Now, look, the one that should be impacted by should make some outlandish statement on it, but there were several people that made outlandish statements about Mike Johnson's policy that he's pushing through. But the trans person didn't do it. You know who did it? AOC. According to Daily Wire, AOC, keeping men out of women's bathroom is endangering women. Chick, what you talking about? How is it that this woman ain't a couple of fries short of a Happy Meal. She's missing the whole carton of fries. She's Delulu. She's nuts. She's an idiot. What else can I say? Put it in the chat. AOC, it's disgusting. And everybody, no matter how you feel on this issue, should reject it completely. No, I don't reject that biological men shouldn't be in women's bathroom. It protects women. And she's a woman saying this. But should reject it completely. No, I don't reject it. Wow. They're doing this so that Nancy Mace can make a buck and send a text and fundraising off an email. They're not doing this to protect people. They're endangering women, she added. They're endangering girls of all kinds, and everybody should reject it. It's gross. It's gross. It's gross to tell a biological man, no, you do not go into women's bathrooms. It's gross. Oh, man. This woman's nuts. Okay. Oh, my gosh. How can I put this in a biblical way? If you're watching on the chat, you see I'm turning red. This bimbo woman is saying that we're in a man like myself that's saying, hey, I don't think biological men and look, Nancy May too. Don't get me wrong, Congresswoman Nancy May. Women saying, hey, we don't want men in our bathrooms is disgusting to her. No, I don't want a pedophile going into a restroom with a girl or a lady. How is that disgusting? How is that? They stopping her. No, go into a unisex bathroom. And she even made some points because Brent Cam and them on their radio program said that they're going to look at the private parts of individuals to make sure they're a woman or not. And that's disgusting. There's nothing about that in here. Now, you know what's funny, though? I'm going to make this point before moving on. She talked about Nancy May and how Nancy May just wanted to do fundraising. Do you know Nancy May was a victim of sexual assault? Don't you know that Nancy May was a victim of the crimes that they're trying to say they're trying to protect? They're trying to protect women of? Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez should be thrilled that Mike Johnson is stopping the potential assault of women. No. See, this goes against their narrative. Oh, trans people, if you're a man and you think you're a woman, well, guess what? Look, Mike Johnson said it the best way, and I agree with him. There's only two genders, male and female, and you can't change from one to the other. God made male and female, and it's in the Bible. So all you progressive Christians out there that say, oh, God did not define it. Yeah, God defined it. Jesus didn't say, hey, when you go to your partner. Jesus said God made them male and female. A man shall leave his father's mother and cling to his wife, not to his partner. God made them Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. You're there's not 455 genders. There's two genders, male and female. And for Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez to argue the point, to say, Oh, they should do this. It's bizarre to me. It's bizarre. All right. Pennsylvania, Bob Casey finally conceded the election on Wednesday night. Not Wednesday night, Thursday night. After the lost cause of trying to add votes, illegal votes, to be counted. After the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania had to say twice that, hey, you can't count them votes. So he finally conceded. He finally saw the light, or he finally saw that he could not get them votes he needed. Because, see, it's funny how he concedes after the Supreme Court told him, hey, y'all can't do that. Now, the election worker that made the claim that all votes should count, nobody listened to the Supreme Court anyway, so she's going to count the votes, just made the comment, oh, I made a mistake. No, woman, you did not make the mistake. What you did, however, you wanted to bluntly break the law. And this is why I honestly feel this is why Bob Casey was waiting. Bob Casey was waiting to see what would happen in Pennsylvania. If they could count them illegal votes, then you can have, oh, look at the closet, we found some more ballots. They don't have a signature today, but hey, we're supposed to count every single vote. And this woman was trying to help him. She was a Democrat leader trying to help Bob Casey stay in his Senate seat. Now, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. The woman that made this claim should be put in jail because she was trying to break the law. And because she was trying to break the law and she was doing it, should be put in jail or she should be fired. Now, I know Josh Shapiro will not do that, but if she was in the state of Florida, she would have had something to worry about. And look, this wasn't just a federal election. This is a federal. This is a senator, a state senator that's going up to Washington, that's holding a federal seat. This woman should be put in jail for her crimes of trying to break the law, saying that nobody should listen to the Supreme Court. I'm just saying. All right. A few more stories and we wrap this up and go home. I really want to touch on these stories because I do have an opinion. The International Criminal Court did something the other day, the 21st. This was Thursday. That really got to me. Now they issued an arrest warrant for the leaders of Hamas over the October 7 attack. Okay, I agree with that one. Hey, these butchers, these murderers, these tyrants went across the border into Israel on October 7 of 2023, a little over a year ago, and murdered and butchered several Jewish families. And they also took hostages, which a lot of hostages, I don't know if they're all alive. I hope they are. But they went ahead and took hostages, and they have been battling with Israel ever since then. Israel said, all right, you want to escalate this war, we're going to escalate it. And they have went into Gaza, and they have rescued several of the hostages, but they're still trying to take out a lot of Hamas's leaders. So yeah, hey, the National Court, good. They did that right. But you know who else they put an arrest warrant on? And if he goes to any of these countries, they're going to turn him over to be arrested. They sent out a warrant for Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his former defense minister, Yoav Gallant, and the officials of the Hamas terrorists. The ICC, which has long been accused of harboring bias against Israel, according to the Israelis, of crimes against humanity and war crimes in Israel's prosecution of its war against Hamas in the Gaza Strip, according to the ICC announcement on the warrant. Netanyahu and his defense bear criminal responsibility for the war crimes of starvation as a method of warfare, the court claimed. The chamber found that there are responsible grounds to believe that the lack of food, water, electricity, and fuel and specific medical supplies created conditions of life, the conclusion to bring about destruction of part of the civil population in Gaza. The allegations drew sharp rebuke and allegations of anti-Semitic from American and Israel officials. Netanyahu officials called the charges against him and his former Secretary of Defense, former Defense Minister, absurd and false. Now, ladies and gentlemen, again, the terrorists came from Gaza, went into Israel, butchered thousands of people. went back into Gaza and hid behind the Palestinian people. Now, Israel would send alerts, text messages, phone calls, however way of communication, telling people, hey, you better get out of there because we're about to bomb the crap out of that place. And they did. Now, Israel also sent humanitarian aid. Let U.S. bring humanitarian aid into the place. But they want to charge Benjamin Netanyahu? Now, this is the issue, though. The Hamas people don't care about the Palestinian people. The Hamas terrorists don't. Also, Hamas is not a nation. They're a group. And Palestine apparently don't care about the people, so they put it on the shoulders of Israel to protect them people. Now, look, they always want two states. They always want a Palestinian state and a Jewish state. They've been calling that. But you notice every conflict, every situation that comes up, Israel's government has to fund the Palestinian state or help the Palestinian state. If they want two states, why don't the Palestinian government do something? Oh, wait, they don't have one. Israel does. But this is look, they're not trying to justify Hamas. They covered their track by putting arrest warrants out for the Hamas people. But this is to shut up Benjamin Netanyahu and to stop his war efforts. The International Criminal Court putting out this arrest warrant on a leader that's trying to protect his nation and annihilate the threat is absurd and false. I'm going to agree with Benjamin Netanyahu in his office. This is showing how screwed up this whole system is. The man that should be praised for stopping Hamas and stopping Hezbollah and stopping other terrorist organizations, this man is fighting a forefront war. Instead, if he goes to another country, let's arrest him so he can stop. Now, the International Criminal Court, if I'm not mistaken, they have a lot of influence from the Muslim community. This is ridiculous, in my humble opinion. And America, look, I'm glad, finally, America stood up. Last story, then we go home. I'm overtime. I apologize. I know we got Henry's News, too. Go check him out. And I'm making Wendy Wild, giving her the capability of rating his show. So y'all probably better go over right to him after. Jesse Smollett, conviction overturned by Illinois Supreme Court. If you remember, Jesse Smollett was the individual that said that he was attacked by some white radical Trump supporters, and come to find out he staged everything. The reason they got him off is because the prosecutor said, hey, don't worry about it. It raised all kind of hell in the United States. People were like, how dare you do this? How dare you push this crime and tell him? And then they went ahead and pursued it. Oh, well, the American people are mad. So the Supreme Court of Illinois said, hey, you can't do that. So they let him go with a little, don't do that again, Justy. Now, Jesse Smollett, his career is done. He was part of a television program that was widely popular, and I think they killed him off on the show. I don't know how they worked. That's them. But in 2019, he said that two men with masks were assaulted him, and they racially and homophobically attacked him, and he was fired from the program. And all of a sudden now, they went ahead and they let it go. Now, it's funny, okay? Again, this is the hypocrisy of the two-tiered justice system. What if two left-leaning people attacked a MAGA supporter went out and said that two left-leaning people beat him up and staged this crime, and come to find out it was false. That poor individual would have been put under the jail, given bread and water for 20 life sentences. Jesse Smollett, who is a left-leaning liberal and is part of the black community, and he's also part of the gay community, gets a slap on the wrist. Now, granted, this case has been going on for 2019. I don't know if he even served any jail time for this, but he fabricated a crime, and he gets a slap on the wrist. Now, I don't know about you. That should infuriate you, because this does show the two-tiered justice system. Look, I'm going to go back to my top story. Matt Gaze, Pete Huckstep, I'm trying to remember his name. I have to read his name. Hexet, not Hogsett. I don't know why I'm saying Hogsett. Hexet Where, look, no crimes were filed. No crime. Now, look, don't get me wrong. If Matt Gaetz did pay women to have intercourse with him and they were underage, that's wrong. I will agree with that. But apparently there ain't nothing going on. They've cleared, according to Sonny Holston for The View, they cleared it. They cleared all the charges because of her legal note. Hegseth had a good night with a woman and didn't realize all this stuff, signed a disclosure agreement, and guess what? Still, they're trying to get to. And the media, you can't be forgiven. But a man goes ahead and fakes an attack, stage an attack to get publicity, gets a slap on the wrist. Now, this is Illinois, of course. And look, all fairness. Hey, you the judge, look, I agree with that. Hey, you shouldn't tell a person, hey, you're free to go, then come back. But they shouldn't have told him that to begin with. Think about it, okay? The special prosecutor maybe did that on purpose. Okay, I'm not trying to put, I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist, but why go ahead and tell him, hey, you're guilty, oh, you're not guilty, oh, we're going to charge you again with the same crime? That's a technicality. They messed up, and the Supreme Court, well, we have to do it. I wonder if that was done on purpose. It's just a question. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to the Isaac Hayes Show. It has been another great week. Love being with you guys. Thank you, as always, for being part of the show. Everybody that was part of the chat and watched today over Facebook, over YouTube, and over Rumble. And also listen on Spotify, Apple, Amazon Music, and iHeartRadio. Always enjoy being part of your lives and hope you have a good weekend. I know I'm going to have a good weekend. Go and watch Gladiator 2 and then LSU football. Let's hope LSU wins. Let's hope. They're playing Vanderbilt. I never thought I would do about Vanderbilt. They're 6-4 and they got a running quarterback and they're looking pretty good. So if you're from Vanderbilt, you should cheer on your team. But I hope they lose against LSU. I don't know who the Cajuns playing, and the Saints are on a bye week. So we have to see what happens. But I'm going to have a good weekend. Go and spend some time with my family at their church, and we're going to have Thanksgiving lunch this week. And also, talk about that. I don't know if we're going to have a show on Friday. I know I'm off. So I might do a live show. I don't do a show on Thursday, so I won't take off because I'm already off. But everybody, if you just, this is the last episode you hear from me, happy Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is next week, 2025, just around the corner, and we start to reshape America for the better, hopefully. With that being said, again, thank you for listening to the show. Hope you're having a good one. Please be safe. Please enjoy your weekend. We will see you next time here on the show. You be blessed. You have a good one.